Welcome to South Florida, the bottom of the clip of the Gunshine State. One of them boys still boating in that way. Big plate, get it for the 18 if you straight. Get cake and stop hating, it's the motto of the state. A lot of fakes, but it's still real around here. That foreign talk, that can get you killed down here. Niggas better learn to
looking at Coach Charlie Strong, man. I got word, man, that Charlie Strong could have been hired by, I think, Manny Diaz. He had a chance to get Charlie Strong as a defensive coordinator, which would have been great. He was Florida's defensive coordinator forever, went on to be a head coach at 2 places. That would have been awesome. But I think we all realized why that didn't happen. Man, it's fair to say, man, talking to a resource of mine said, Charlie Strong, when he was at Louisville, man, was very militant with the kids. Like, he wasn't no nonsense. It was like you couldn't go to the club. He didn't want you out there in that city like that. To the point where he made relationships with the club owners and told them, listen, man, if my guys come in your club, you call me or you send them back. No nonsense. Because I think what Charlie Strong understood was that the 56 running a little gimpy and running there, huh? Like it was hurting him to run. I think what Charlie Strong realized was that the opportunity is delicate, you know what I'm saying? Or you could be right back home where you started from and your dream thrown away. So he just basically like, listen, I'm gonna take it off the table. I ain't gonna give you a reason to be out in town. Right. You can thank me later. And sometimes you need that type of discipline, man, to get where you're going. We out here, man, IOD Squad, Investor Down, FOOTBALLVILLE. All right, well, let's talk a little bit about recruiting. First off, #1 cornerback in the nation. Yeah, I think he's top #1, #2 player in the nation. 6'2", Cormani McClain. Cormani McClain, nobody backpedals like Cormani McClain. He's only been playing cornerback maybe 2 or 3 years. But the kid is just an amazing athlete. Like with the ball in his hands, Dion like, Travis Hunter like. We've seen him get interceptions or run back punts. Man, it looks like he's running twice as fast as everybody else on the field. He can stand back. He can stand back and mirror a wide receiver's movement. He can play on. He can off. He can bait the quarterback. Cormani McClain is legit. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him up close plenty of times. I've seen him one-on-one versus William Files. He's a legit kid out of Lakeland. Very frail kid though. He may be 6'2". He's maybe 170 pounds at the most, 165. But Cormani McClain last time visited the University of Miami had a great time. And more importantly, his mom had a great time. If you want to find out who's running the recruitment of Cormani McClain or who the decisions is going to have to go through, is going to be his mom. His mom basically is managing her kid or doing what I believe a parent should do that is capable of doing it, protecting her child. There's no other way around it. Protecting her kid because there's a lot of things out here that can take advantage of guys in these situations. And we've seen it happen many times. But that recruitment is going to go through her. And the last time she was at the University of Miami, from Mario on down, man, they treated her with class. And it's a nice hit by Malik Curtis. What's going on? Malik Curtis out here, helmet and the helmet didn't. Yeah, but last time she came to Miami, man, they treated her with a lot of class from Mario on down, man. I heard Mario was bringing her water and taking care of her. Just treating her with class, letting her know, listen, man, we'll take care of you and we're gonna take care of your son. And when she left, she tweeted out how she felt about it, and she said she enjoyed it. And she's gonna definitely come back to Miami. One cog in that, one main emphasis in that is Marcus Van Dyke. For the last 4 or 5 years, he's developed a relationship with his mom, a relationship of trust. A lot of times in this culture, in the culture, blacks value trust. Not necessarily business at per se, but we value trust. We value that you say and do what you say you're going to do. We value that we trust. We value that we trust your word. We value that we trust your word and that you can be a man of your word. And DVD has cemented that with the mom and developed that with her. Cormani McClain right now at Lakeland probably isn't paying attention to recruiting that much. The season has started, everything about to kick off Friday. But I tell you this, man, Alabama may be in first for Cormani McClain, but Miami has a fighting chance for Cormani McClain, and winning will help that a lot. Bam! In high school, I sought out Don Chaney's dad and Lil Chaney to do a piece on him. You can go to YouTube, man, hit that in, type in Don Chaney FOOTBALLVILLE. And I caught him working out when he was at Berlin at the gym. And watching him work that day, I knew he was going to always be one of the harder workers in the room. But it was his body to me. He looked like a grown man in high school. And getting to know his dad, to get the ball, bam, get the ball. And getting to know his dad, and the type of guy his dad was, you can only imagine that his dad playing on different levels of football, that he has input, it's a big dude, that he has input some of the values in himself that into his kid. Bumped into his dad the other day, talking to his dad, and his dad made one point to us that was so clear, and he was animated about it. Now, mind you, I've known his dad for a long time. I was there the day Dan Chaney committed inside the IPF. I was there that day. I've known the family for a while. Never seen the dad so animated as he was, as he told us that Mario Cristobal took care of Don, cares about the kids, and he's the real deal. And he just went on to tell us instances how he knows Mario's the real deal, he cares about the kids. And like I said, I've known this guy maybe 6 years, never really heard him talk as much, say as much, but he was adamant about that. Adamant about a couple other things, and we're gonna see if we can get him to come on the show, because he's the head coach of Berlin. Berlin has a big game versus Gulliver. We're gonna see if we can get him to come on the show. But he was adamant about that, about Don, and which made me revisit to that video that I shot of Don. Don has been down and hurt, has a lot of time left. As Restrepo will catch a nice pass. He's about to graduate college with 4 more years of eligibility left. And it's patience, baby. It's patience. Like investing, IOD patience. It's patience and consistency to get you where you're going. And Don, who's back now healthy and ran the ball well in the scrimmages, Don is one. He's going to be all right. X utters it all the time and says that we don't forget about Don. And I seen that to be true. I think the backs may be used in different ways. And I know it's a place for Don to get his money this year. Where you at? All right, let's stop the bush. If you're gonna pick one of these other schools, pick the other schools. There's a number of reasons you can go to a school. I understand Louisville has jumped into the NIL market and are pitching these kids. And like they landed the #1 running back in the nation at one point in time. And so Louisville is competing because they jumped in the NIL market. They were the first team to jump out there. They got a lot of money to play with. But don't get it confused. I mean, don't get it confused. Kentucky has nothing to do with Florida or Louisville has nothing to do with Miami. It's not the 305. Don't let these country boys come out here and say, listen, man, we got half a roster of the 305. It's like 305 up here. We got a dump. Because you're going to find out real fast that Kentucky has nothing to do with the city of Miami or the University of Miami or what Miami has built. I don't think Louisville has ever won anything in football, to be quite frankly honest with you. Anything. Nathan. So yeah, what am I reference to? The other day, young kid, Miami Central linebacker Stanquan Clark said it's like the 305. And I can only imagine that he's a kid, that somebody has uttered that to him or said that to him in his ear. Hey, look, we got a lot of you. Next, you're going to have Pitt start saying it's like the 305 because they're being able to fish a couple kids out of South Florida. No. There's a bunch of talent down here. Miami can't take them all. FIU can't take them all. FAU can't take them all. Kids are going to go everywhere. But don't let these country boys trick you into thinking that Tinseltown, Kentucky has anything to do with the city of Miami Nice, Miami. Because it's not even close. It's not even debatable. I mean, it's a trick. It's a trick. And don't let them pull the rug out from you. So if you're going to go out there and deal with the country boys, make sure you go deal with the country boys for a valid reason and not that reason. It's a lot more you can go deal with them for, but that's not one of them. Louisville and Miami will be head-to-head. Louisville is one of the 4 teams that Miami slate to play. I think starts in 2023 or 2024. I'm not sure how that was chosen, but Louisville is one of the teams that Miami will play. So it's going to be a lot of head-to-head when it comes to Louisville and Miami. Here recently, one of them was the Washington Twins. The Washington Twins started flirting with Louisville. X said it wasn't real. Talked to Robbie or Bobby or one of them. Then it came out and said, hey, somebody came out with a report to say, hey, Washington Twins plan to take a visit to Louisville. Okay, are we playing poker? What are we doing here? We're playing poker. A bird in the hand is better than 2 in the rearview mirror, or whatever the saying is. But Louisville and Miami has been at this tug of war thing when it comes to recruiting with a couple of kids. Then recently, Robbie Washington last night tweeted that, hey, the picture of them in the U, they with the U. I'm here to tell you this, man. I'm reporting this for you guys, but following these kids, every step, man, gonna make some of y'all throw up on yourself. It's gonna make some of y'all throw up on yourself because recruiting is not for the faint of heart, bro. Y'all seem to think that these kids at 16, 17 really has these things figured out, and some of y'all at 36, 46, 48, 49 still don't have it figured out. They don't have it figured out. And then they have their parents who do a lot of times don't have it figured out. That's why we have things like FOOTBALLVILLE, man. We try to talk about these things and get to the bottom of some of these things and help these guys out with these things. But no, listen, Louisville and Miami is about to be head-to-head in this ACC as long as both teams are in the ACC and on this recruiting trail. But when it comes to the Washington Twins, I'm going to call bluff on that. I think the Washington Twins were just trying to make Miami show their hand. And I hope they showed it, because I think really highly of Bobby and Robbie, young studs, son of Killian running back Bobby Washington. But all right, that's my take on it. Louisville and Miami are going to be head-to-head for a while from now, so y'all get used to it. But don't get no mistake about it. Louisville has nothing in common with Miami but deer hunting and maybe quiet time. It's funny how when I started this, I've got some funny story. For a long time, I didn't know what the word media meant. And when I say I didn't know what the word media meant, I would read the definition and it didn't do anything for me. And for years, I didn't understand what media meant and its place in society and what I was really representing. I was just trying to create football and show football, not necessarily create the platform that I created. When it started dawning on me what media was, it became clear to me that I was creating something that could last forever. When I started coming to the Hurricanes, that put me in a room full of media scholars or people who went to school for media, people who work for these big media companies, ABC, NBC, ESPN, SI, and I wasn't sure when I used to be sitting in that room with them at the University of Miami, because they used to gather us in a little room before we went out to watch practices and stuff. And I wasn't sure if I was supposed to be there. But as I grew and I watched them and I learned from them and what they did and what I could do and the advantages they had, the advantages I had, it dawned on me that I was supposed to be there, and that I was early. I remember I was afraid to ask questions in the press conference, after post-practice press conferences, we want to call them. And the first time I asked a question was to Alan Hearns, because I would hear them asking all these questions. They ask the questions to go with the story that they got to write, because they got to go back to work and they got to go to their job and write a story. So they're asking a question to go with the story. I didn't have an angle like that. So I asked Alan Hearns, I said, Alan, think Kansas City could win state this year? And he looked at me and he started smiling. And he said something like, yeah, I'm pulling for my Chiefs, yada, 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 yada. And right then I knew in that moment that I didn't have to be like them. All I had to do was be me, and me was more comfortable to the players than a lot of times the questions that they were asking, or whether questions was coming from other media members. So sometimes, man, being uncomfortable is just a ladder to the next level of where you're supposed to be headed. Fucking shit.
It's gonna take 3 motherfucking things, and that's what? This nigga bullshit. I say, big time players step up in big games.